What's up, Bakugan fans? It's D-Heart. The video after this video is going to be a match, a battle between me and a friend, Flamebreather. And this is the deck I used in that battle. It's a Green Fist deck. 6 Green Fists, 3 Bakugan that only use Green Fists. I'm going to do a deck breakdown so you can see what my plan was and then how it played out in the match. I'm going to go through the Bakugan and the cards super fast. So here we go. First Bakugan is Heos Halcor Ultra, or Ultra Halcor from Bakugan Evolutions. This guy's a beast. He's a monster. He's the strongest Heos Bakugan right now. I used him. I used Ventus Pegatrix from Bakugan Evolutions. He is, I think, the first strongest Ventus Bakugan right now, or second. Super strong. I went for super high B power. I keep saying super a lot because this is over. This is a lot. I don't know what I'm saying. Here is Pyrus Neo Dragonoid. And he also comes with 2 Green Fists. And he was the least amount of B power on my team. But I needed a Pyrus, and I didn't use Falcron Ultra. So I used him because he's new and he's cool. Okay, those are my Bakugan. I also used the Geogon Heos Skyhorse, and you're going to see why in a second. He's a Green Fist Geogon, and I'm displaying him on a shield, which is weird. So I should use a Green Fist. He gets a cool bonus, and he was worth it in the B power ratio, so I used him. Okay, this is my team. I'm going to show you the Bakugan and the stats now, so you'll see why I chose them. Here is Heos Halcor. Heos Ultra Halcor. That's what they call him in Bakugan Evolutions. 2 Green Fists, 700 B, 1 damage, 1000 B bonus on a Green Fist. And so I usually rolled him on this one, and he would get up to 1850 and 3. That's monster. It's huge. I roll him turn 1. He wins. I'll do him last because he's the least strong. Here is Ventus Pegatrix. He gets to 1750 and 5 on this Green Fist. So I rolled him second, and he usually won too. And by the second turn, I had 2 energy to use some of my really strong B-Power cards. So I had that going for me too. And then lastly, Pyrus Platinum Neo Dragonoid. This is awkward because I just showed you the toy that is not Platinum. Oh my gosh, I took the wrong Bakugan to the match. I should have been using the metal one, and I did not use the metal one. Look at this. It says 700 on him. Well, I guess the card is what matters the most, right? It's the same mold. That is really funny. I better not tell Flamebreather that, or he's going to call. He's going to call me out. But if I had used the right Bakugan, he gets 2 Green Fist, 800 B, 2 damage, and he gets up to 1450. If my math is correct on this Green Fist. 1450 and 4 damage. So that is like as low as you should go for competitive matches. 1450, 1500. But I used him. He had 2 Green Fists, and I wanted Pyrus because of a certain Pyrus action card that is cool. Okay, so here are the staples then. You got to have Moxified Cabo Beam if you're ever going to do Ventus and Heos. And this card by itself is reason enough to just run these 2 factions. Now, I didn't use the other Ventus 1 energy for minus 500B action card because I wanted to use other things. And my opponent was going to play Ventus, so I wanted to avoid Ventus. So I had 3 copies of that. That's huge. You got to do that. Then I had 3 copies of Holy Flame, where on a Green Fist, you get 600B for 1 energy. That's amazing. It's the best ratio. Better than this one. It's crazy. So for this Green Fist deck, these 3 cards are awesome. 3 copies of the same card, I should say. And then obviously you got to use Pyro Obliterator. It's another card that's a staple. Got to have it. 2 energy for 700B is, I guess, the second best ratio. It's amazing. So with my huge B Power Bakugan and then these 9 B action cards, I was in every single battle because they're all cheap. Okay, and then Poison Sting. I only have 2 copies of this. I just need to print off a 3rd copy and have a proxy, but Shield of Astroya, remove an enemy Bakugan's Bakucore, negate its effect. It's just like a Hot Potato in the Pyrus faction. I could have used Hot Potato in this deck too, but if you have 5 energy, you can empower, so 3 energy more. You may play an additional 3 to attach a Bakugan from the field to an open Bakugan. I used this when I took my opponent's Magic Shield one time. So this card was awesome. I would have used 3 if I had it. I need to print a proxy. And then Stoneblade. I used this card once. It was for ramp. I wanted to use it for ramp purposes. If the Bakugan was holding a green fist, you get an extra energy card for the next turn. But I realized I didn't need ramp for this deck. I just didn't need it. I didn't choose high energy cost cards. I just didn't. I didn't need a lot of energy. I needed 5 energy at most. So I would take this out. I don't need it. Mega Punch. I didn't get to use it in the match, but for 1 energy, you attach a green fist from the field to an open Bakugan. Now, for this green fist deck, they're all 6 green fists. I don't need this card to pick up a green fist because adding 150B for 1 energy is lame. I didn't use the Heos flip card where if you have the most Baku cores, you get to stop non-Heos damage. I think it's called Stand Together. I didn't use that, so I didn't need this to get an extra Baku core. I guess, it sounds great, but I didn't need to use it. The only reason I did need to use it is for Nanogun in the end. So I'm going to show you that. So this was, for me, a setup play for Nanogun. But I ran 3 of them. Now this card was the MVP, the Baku Elite Hero Ebony Fusion Brawler for 3 energy. You may play this for free on the first turn of the game. Your Bakugan have Green Fist plus 200B and Frost Strike. So I ended up with 1 of these on my first turn. That was awesome. I got to play a second one in the game. So my Bakugan had 400 plus 400B and 2 Frost Strike by the middle of the game. It was awesome. It was so cool. So that means that guys like this, where did he go? This Heos Halcor Ultra, on the first turn of the game, when I had this hero in there for free, he got to 2000B. No action cards. He just got to 2000B. It was awesome. It was amazing. Actually, I think it might have been 2050. So this hero card was so much fun in a Green Fist deck. I didn't get to use this card, but if you're holding a Green Fist, you get to draw a card, and you're also just removing the enemy Bakugan's Baku Core and placing it onto the field. So it's core steal. Didn't get to use it, but it would have been awesome for card draw. I put this card in here because I thought it would be cool. 3 for 700 is not a terrible ratio for B power. And then if I wanted to, refresh my hand, but I ended up energizing this card twice when I got it. So it was a fun idea. I didn't need to use it. I probably would have switched that out in the future. I didn't get a chance to use Bright Flame. I just wanted another B power card. It's a terrible ratio for B power. 4 for 600 is not good, but I thought Double Strike would be cool because these Bakugan, they're not super high B power or damage. They're not super high damage. 2, which gets up to 4. 3, which gets up to 5. And 1, which gets up to 3 with the Green Fist core here. So I thought adding in a Double Strike with an already super strong B power Bakugan team could be really cool to do damage quickly to my opponent. I didn't use it in the match. I only played 1 match, so maybe it would have worked in the future, but I didn't use it in the match. I thought Leah and Winton would be cool for Green Fist deck, but again, just like what was it called? Mega Punch. I didn't need more Green Fists. It didn't help me because I wasn't going for domination, having the most Baku cores, or anything else like it. And I didn't run the standalone flip, which stops non-Heos for free if you have the most cores. So I didn't need Leah and Witten. It's a cool idea, but I didn't need it. I didn't pick the right Bakugan for it. If I would have had like Darkest Falcron Ultra, who you land him on a Magic Shield, but I didn't have Magic Shields on my team. So you can see here how thinking through deck building, I didn't need to use it. And the same with this card, Energy Vortex. It's awesome. The idea is great, but because of how I was playing, and I guess the way that I like to play with high B power action cards and the like, I didn't need to add another Green Fist to an open Bakugan. Unless, of course, and I'm going to walk myself back here for a second, because all these add Green Fist cards would have been good because there was a time when my opponent used a Nanogun to take away my Green Fist. And if you take away a Green Fist from Pegatrix, he's only 600B. And if you take away from Halcor, which this happened to him, he was only 700B. So it's not a bad idea to save yourself and your green fists with cards like this if your opponent is removing your core. It's actually a great idea. I just thought of it right now. I didn't think of it before. So maybe I will keep these cards in here. And then 3 energy for 300B on a gear is good. If you can get the amount of B for the cost, it works out. The second turn it's in play, it becomes 3 for 600, and that's a normal action card. So good gear. I have some stops in here now, some flip cards. So I tried to do the symmetry here with stopping Heos and Ventus. So 0 cost, stop Heos Ventus for the times I ran against this faction. 3 copies. That completely covers me with this stop too. 3 copies. Stop non-Ventus, non-Heos. So I at least had 3 chances, or 6 of these flip cards to stop any faction and keep myself in the game longer. I ran 2 copies of this one. Stop non-Heos, non-Pyrus, because if my opponent, another chance to stop a Ventus or a Heos Bakugan. Well, not Heos, but Ventus. So I ran, was that 8 flips? I like flips. I ran them. I ran 8 of them. I want to keep myself in the game longer. I had 1 copy of Skyhorse, Heos Skyhorse. I would have ran 3, telling you, the cards that I would have removed that I didn't use. I would have put 2 more copies of Skyhorse in here. I don't have 2 more copies, so I just need to print them off and proxy them. He is a good Green Fist Geogon. So 4 energy, he's going to get up to, what is that, 2350. 4 energy, 2350. So 23 minus 1500 for that benchmark is 800. 4 energy for 800 is like 1 energy for 200B. It's not terrible. It's normal. It's fine. It's good if I missed a roll, which actually it was hard to roll with this mold of Halcor Ultra. I missed like twice. I need to practice with him. He's hard. So this was an okay Geogon. He was going to get 7 damage. And if he wins, the victor, the T means team attack. So all of the Bakugan that were open, when Skyhorse won, got to add their damage to the damage, do a team attack. So he's a good Geogon. He's a good Geogon. I had plenty of green fists to work with for Skyhorse, so there's no way I wasn't going to have a chance to land on one. So that was a good addition. I didn't get to use him, though, but I would have added 2 more, and I would have used him for sure. And then here are my Nanogon. They're all green fist Nanogon. 200 for 1 green fist, 600 for 2, very easy to get. 300 for 1 green fist. I didn't run magic shields. However, I did steal my opponent's core with poison sting, and I put their magic shield onto one of my Bakugan. So there was the opportunity to get the plus 500 there. And I did it. Where did poison sting go? Gotta keep him in order. Dang it. I think it's right there. So that was just a free, easy 300B for the most part. And then this guy, Nano Shadow, is the Green Fist champion. 3 Green Fists. So that means that on my 3rd Bakugan, when I'm rolling my weakest one, and that's not even the right toy, when I'm running my weakest one, he's only getting up to 1450. I have 3 Green Fists, because the other 2 Bakugan, Ventus Pegatrix and Heos Halcor, already won. And I flipped this Nanogon over and dropped my opponent because I just added 1600B that turn. Like, you can't come back from it. Although Flamebreather got really close, so I got to hand it to him because he had a sweet setup as well. But Green Fist decks with Heos, Nano Shadow is the bomb. And if you somehow steal a Helix or have a Helix, you get 2000. You get to remove your opponent's core. So it's awesome. And that is my Green Fist deck. It was fun to play. I had a blast. I hope to use this more in the future.